So, ESTP, hello. I didn't realize this before, but literally, when your functions or your letters, your four letters are opposite, you have the exact same functions as that opposite personality type. They're just in reverse order. So, me being an INFJ, we have the same functions, they're just in the reverse order. So what I'm weak at, you guys are strong at, and vice versa. So, but there should be some common ground there. So let's see here. ESTPs are, you are the third of the Explorer group. You're on my second to last video, and I think I associated you guys with Taurus, because Taurus obviously is a T, an earth sign, but also a P, because as calculating as it can be, I feel like the Venus energy doesn't have preference, and it just kind of like absorbs everything around it. Like it doesn't matter which one of your friends you're hanging out with that day, it just matters that you're with a friend. You know what I mean? Like, you don't really need to be around certain people. I think that's P as opposed to J, socially at least. So, first card. Let's see. Ooh, my card it is. Okay, sorry, I've claimed this card. It's the one I draw, I think, most often, King of Wands. So, you guys could be easily leaders. Easily, yeah, there's Hierophant, bottom of the deck with the Four of Wands. So, men in power play out a big part here. This is a great segue to the character I wanted to talk about, which is an ESTP, Jaime Lannister from Game of Thrones. He is... You kind of love him, you kind of don't, because he can just be so narcissistic, and he kind of is on the bad side of things if you consider the Lannisters the bad side. I mean, there's good and bad in every character in that show, but ultimately I feel like the Lannisters get that rep because of Cersei and Tywin, and Tyrion's the one redeeming one, and Jaime's the one, well, like, in scenes you can appreciate him, but overall you're just like, is this a good guy? So it's kind of like a mindfuckery a little bit, but King of Wands is typically very regal energy, somebody that has a purpose and is in the spotlight, leaders. Yeah, and you guys do this in a way that's different from INFJs, though. INFJs, you probably see more so the King of Swords as the mind. You guys are a thinking sign, but your first function is extroverted sensing. So first and foremost, you take in your surroundings. You're very aware of, the weather, how things look, how you feel, how other people feel around you. You're probably good at reading a room, sensors, and you know what society expects. You know what I mean? You're not just pulling things from thin air. Introverted intuition is your last function. You're very much pen and paper, like, this is how it is, we're doing this, da 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 da, and so you're kind of like enforcing the rules or the societal structure in your friend groups, because the explorers are so social. And extroverted sensing like to be outside, take in the surroundings, and also P's. I feel like P's like to be outside as opposed to J's too. And because I think J's are a little more uptight, like, we don't like to get dirty as often or anything, or we have to have like the right set of tools to go with us to that place, so we always have to be prepared. And P's are just like, oh yeah, I'll go to the park for 15 minutes, why not? Da da da, you know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't matter. And Tauruses are known for not wearing shoes, bare feet all the time. The Taurus that I dated, I was in a relationship with, he had terrible hygiene. Terrible. Um, and it just didn't even faze him. I was like, what? Um, Virgo and me, I'm like washing my hands constantly, always kind of germaphobe, but not crazy. Um, but definitely conscious of it. So, but King of Wands, yeah, father may play a big aspect of your life. If he's big into your life or is a big example. But you guys have a big purpose and you're constantly looking to guide others along. Um, okay, another Leo card. Interesting. Maybe there are a lot of Leos as ESTPs. I know they said Madonna is one, and I don't know if Eddie Murphy is, but he was on there. So, Eight of Pentacles reversed. So, perfection. So, always looking for it, but does it serve your purpose? Not so much. Um, and it almost seems like maybe no matter how hard you guys work at something, you never really get to that place that you want. And maybe that's where the P plays in. The J's stay more focused. Maybe it's harder for you guys to stay focused. And to, so you're always looking for fun and change and unique experiences, and so there's more playtime that's a little more imbalanced. But you can still be pretty hardworking, It just seems that's more so like the card where you have a vision for what you're working towards. There's a goal, lots of goals. Maybe you make bad spending choices, even though you do bring in a lot of money, but, okay. Maybe the relationship drains you of your resources materially and emotionally. It's kind of like one of the worst cards to get, but it's like the relationship can hold you back. I've actually seen this a lot with the S's as opposed to the N's. You guys don't really know how to pick suitors as well or something because what's right for everyone else doesn't mean it's right for you guys. And I think intuitives are a little more aware of that. So the N's maybe will hold off on finding a mate or something or waiting until one feels right as opposed to looks right on pen and paper, because relationship is more of an emotional journey. Okay. So interesting. Very different cards here. So maybe you guys got the bad relationship card because you're meant to be alone, but not in a bad way. This almost looks like independence is bliss. You guys don't like to be tied down. You like to be able to give back, very charitable energies. You like animals, we're seeing in these cards. And yeah, you just feel very blessed, very abundant, very loved in nature too. Nature could be a really big aspect. Obviously for Taurus, I think it's the sign, the only one that comes close may be Sagittarius, that loves the woods and loves being in the earth, fixed earth. You guys would live out there if you could. I think the Venus just keeps you social, so you have to come out of your hearth every once in a while to be social and be glorified in a sense. So, second function, introverted thinking, very calculating minds, leading off with sensing and thinking. Very smart, even though you guys are more social. Maybe you're the one in the group that's like giving everybody the information they need to know. If you're anything like an ENTP, very sarcastic, very funny. Jamie Lannister is, but it's like deadpan humor, or like it's in the humor that's not really meant for everyone to enjoy, but it's more sarcasm based, which is more T for sure. Nine of Wands. So we're getting a lot of earth and fire energy here. So Nine of Wands, lots of responsibilities, lots of looking over your shoulder. You get a little paranoid with this because there's so much demand. There's so many things that are demanding you. Maybe it is the relationship that's not doing you any good. Maybe you feel best when you're by yourself, or you're in nature, or you're giving back to nature. Maybe you work for charities or something that like clean up communities and things like that, or adoption agencies. Oh yeah, Virgo, Hermit. And we also got Death reversed, so Scorpio energy. Hangman, maybe Pisces. So a lot of major arcana here. So you guys have a lot of big themes in your life. Um, Also, Ace of Wands, great card. So Hermit, yes, maybe this is a solitary path, but it's one of a lot of enlightenment. You're finding yourself, you're finding bigger ideals, bigger things out there. Um, and the only problem is sometimes you can become a martyr to your goals. You can put them above what has to be done in a sense. It's like sometimes you put too much respect on your perspective, and it can get the best of you. It can kind of like keep you from seeing what you need to, and it keeps you stuck. I mean, it's like, the hangman is hanging there, and it's going to be hard for him to not hang there because he has to reach up against gravity and untie himself and fall to the ground. Um, and you guys aren't even ready to do that. So you can get a little caught up in your own philosophies and ideals and see things a little upside down. Yes, it's great to have a different perspective, but it doesn't always benefit you here. Um, Death reverse, maybe it's because you guys aren't really good at quitting things. Maybe you're not really good at leaving things behind. And I keep going back to this card, but it just makes a lot of sense. Not good at usually the relationship here. Doing things that are bringing you down or restricting you, um, waving goodbye to them, you're not good at it. So the only problem with that is death looks scary, but it's awesome because it brings in this. Because, excuse me, brings in a new adventure, which you guys are looking for, King of Wands. And the only problem is, are you fully ready to go in a new direction? Yes, it may be presented to you, but you're going to have to ask yourself that time and time again. Um, yeah, some cool cards. I don't know how far I want to go with this. I've done like 3 videos back to back, and now my mouth is sore, and I have other things to do. It's my one day off. But I just wanted to close this series out before doing the Sag readings, because I'm almost done with the Myers-Briggs here. You guys are the second to last video. Last is going to be ESFP. Oh, which is Sag. Oh, that's funny. I didn't think about that. Okay. Ooh, lots of major arcana. You guys can really do a lot here. I think that's why we see a lot of big stars as ESTPs. So creative independence, but also a logical mind, makes a force to be reckoned with. So, I mean, there's not a lot holding you back with the Magician. It's just, or more so, this is the You Can Do It card. This is another You Can Do It card. Ace of Wands, You Can Do It. It's just, what are you willing to let go of? So that's the big question. Mercury energy, the Magician, Gemini, Virgo. We may be seeing a lot of Virgos here. Virgos as actors, I'll have to see what the best sign for an actor is. But Virgos definitely can be that way because they can pretend like nobody's business, you know. Um, they love pretending. Pisces in the seventh house. Um, Gemini in the 10th, all kinds of characters at their arsenal, you know. Actually, a lot of Virgo energy. Nine of Pentacles, Virgo too. Maybe that's what you guys are. I know usually I say Virgo's ISFJ, but maybe the King of Wands energy is how you present yourself, but the Virgo aspects are more of who you are internally. More private, more giving, more altruistic. Yeah. Okay. Definitely Earth energy. Ooh, yeah, we don't like to see this. So, your love life. Let's talk about this again. So, the love life really here is a negative aspect. It's just going to keep you from doing the things that you want. Three of Pentacles reversed. Um, if your love impacts your career a lot, that's showing up here. What you're trying to build is built on deceit. It's built on restrictive nature. It's built on rules. S, extroverted sensing. So when you're trying to build something, you have so many regulations, so many limits and things, and you're trying to look for that perfect thing, and it just won't work. You know, those things that you're trying to surmise again and again, and it's just because you can't go in new directions when there's restraints, you know. And I think the love just holds you guys back. It holds you back from doing the things you want, being the person you want to be, unfortunately, and you just don't know how to get away from it. As much good as you have going for you, yeah, you just have something just weighs you down constantly. You know, it's almost like the home life. So if it's a relationship in the home life, that's what that is. But this could also be letting other people put demands on you. Virgos do that very well. Well, they let others take advantage of them very well. Do they handle it very well? I don't know. But don't do that. Especially, I mean, yeah, you have a tendency to bite off more than you can chew. But I think it's more so to people please as opposed to doing so much for yourself. I think it's because you guys are so giving from what I'm seeing. I wanted to try to get at least 20 minutes. I know I'm going through this very fast. But you just have to see that less is more sometimes. And when I say wands, less is more, it really is. So cups is a different story. You could do a lot with this. You guys have a lot of power. You guys could, yeah, you just have the magic. You've got the stuff, the magic potion. And it's just up to you to discern for yourself what stays and what goes. It's clear to me what goes. I can literally show you guys, but the way I have this laid out, look at this. It lined up in the center. So this is the center part that's eating at you. This is the center part that's keeping all this good away. Relationship, death, relationship. and you're not open to death. You're open to temptation and doing things that are going to hold yourself back or self-sabotage even though you've got so much good. So I just think that this all relates here. The chains that restrict you is this bad relationship that either still exists in your present or it's one that you never got away from in your past and it constantly weighs you down and you're just not never ready to let go of it. That's very Taurus, very stubborn energy. So, ooh, another ace, you guys. Very blessed, in a sense. So, um, but we all have weaknesses. We all have things that we have to work past. But it looks like you guys have lots of opportunities in your life. Wands, creative opportunities, right by the Magician. Pentacles, creative opportunities that will grant you a lot of money. Jobs, take new directions. But like I said before, does your relationship keep you from them? Um, or do you think that to some degree you don't deserve everything? You know what I mean? That's a very Virgo mindset. It's because they kind of want to live like a pastoral life or something, and so more in excess or whatever makes them feel more guilty or something, or more that they need to give back more, and that's just kind of a mentality as opposed to the reality. Um, you know, go do it. Go do the thing. Don't let others. What is it? Don't let others rain on your parade, or um, the Barber song. It's my party and I'll cry if I want to. No, but yeah, cool stuff. But death is in the middle of it, literally, and it's reversed. So that's the one thing that you guys are going to have to address time and time again: is can I truly let go of this and move in a different direction? That seems to be the center of your personality. So you can't quit it. So I think if your intuition was stronger, it's your fourth function, it's your weakest function, you would see how things could play out and more easily get to that point. But you guys are so in the moment, extroverted sensing. You do trial and error stuff, but you're just more so you like working through the chaos and everything, and maybe that's why you have a tendency to put things on your plate, just to kind of see how much you can do. That's a similarity between ENTJ too, because I knew an ENTJ, and that person literally loved challenges. They loved like situations that were uncomfortable just to see how they could handle them and things. I'm like, whoa, that's a very interesting perspective. Most people would never say that. But maybe that's how you guys are too. You like when things are in the nitty gritty and just seeing what you're made of. And it looks like you guys can handle a lot, but um, the future vision is more so what we're lacking. So just work on that. Try to write things out, manifest, and know your worth, because you guys have a lot going for yourself. Make it happen.